It's time for Smart Homes for Dumb Guys, making our homes smarter, one dumb mistake at a time.
It is episode 3 of Smart Homes for Dumb Guys. My name is Chad, and that is Mark. Florida, nice and warm for at least another day. Maryland, cold?
50s.
50s. Okay,
Yeah,
not bad.
well,
It's
50. Not in the 50s, but 50.
So welcome. Smart Homes for Dumb Guys is a show, as I said, making our smart homes smarter, one dumb mistake at a time. Our smart homes may be smart. We are not, and we fight every time to try to get things working back again. We were together, had a very nice time with all the family together at Christmas time, and we promised we were going to shoot an episode, and it never happened. So here we are.
We had too good of a time.
We did. We did have too good of a time. So we're going to continue, and the beauty of it is we have CES, and it has always been on my bucket list to go to CES, and it always surprises me because it is right after the new year, the second weekend of the year, and there is a lot of smart home stuff coming up in CES. So let's why don't we get right into the highlights for CES 2026? What do we got, Mark?
Sure. So we have the game changer in cleaning. We have the Roborock Saros Rover. It's a robot vacuum, but it was also arguably star of the show. And unlike previous robot vacuums get stuck on thresholds, the Saros Rover has articulated wheel legs, their words, not mine, that allow it to physically climb stairs.
Here it is. And this I get it. This is this is pretty
And
crazy.
not just climbing the stairs, but it will turn and vacuum the stairs.
There it is. And for those of you, although we only do this on YouTube, so nobody's only listening, but there's video. This is a courtesy of, obviously, Roborock. I've never even heard of this company. Is this something new, or am I just behind the times?
I think you're just behind the times. They've come up within the last couple of years as a robot vacuum cleaning company, and their stuff's pretty good from what I've heard. This looks really
this is
really
just,
impressive.
it is crazy. And I'm gonna go back. I queued up. There's a point in the video here, and it's I think it has all the features. It's about 2,000. Did I see that correctly? I'm sorry, $900. Does that seem about right?
That seems probably about
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Here's the video. It can go like you know if you have a big, I don't know, I guess between rooms, and maybe you have a thing. But this is what everybody's talking about. It apparently can jump.
I don't know why it would need to. The tripwires in your house.
And it can dodge tennis balls. Now that one I almost see more off of a chance that it can dodge stuff.
I think
as
the video
opposed
they
to-
had there was like some sort of Catherine Zeta-Jones throwback.
Yeah, crazy. So of course and I think everything at CES was AI related. Here it is. It's literally. So that's where we were to start off. But just. I mean, iRobot goes bankrupt, right? And now that you say that, I have heard of Roborock before. I've had an iRobot, and it's hit and miss, and it's an old one. Probably. Shoot, how long ago you and I both got one for Christmas? 10?
6, 8 years ago, maybe.
It was fine. I don't know. You have a more updated version. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I spent way too much money to frustrate me. It's always good. Got stuck this morning, in fact.
Yeah.
It got stuck on its own charging base. I don't know what that was all about, but I fight with it every time it goes.
Smart home compatible. How do you feel? Like, do you need to ever be like, go vacuum under the dining room table?
If you spill, it's kind of nice to be able to do that. I don't often do it.
Yeah.
I kind of get a brush and brush it up myself. I don't necessarily need to vacuum it up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, interesting. I mean, if the price is right, the stairs thing that would be a holdup. We both have multiple story houses. You have 3 if you include the basement where you are now. I mean, I could see you don't have to buy 3 vacuums. Right now, you're only using yours in the main living area.
Correct.
So, all right, the bastion probably behind smart bulbs. I feel like this is the probably most used smart home device. Maybe I'm wrong. Or locks.
Yeah, I would think
All right.
so.
So
Smart
what do we got
lock.
here?
This is the Lock-in V7 Max. Smart lock solves the biggest annoyance of smart home tech, and that's batteries. Uh, New technology, Chad. They call it Aura Charge. It receives power wirelessly. It's over the air from a transmitter plugged in up to 13 feet away. You never have to charge the batteries. It has them, but you don't have to take them out and charge them. I just got my in-laws a smart lock. Have to fear the day when it stops working and they
Yeah,
can't get into the house
I know.
because they didn't charge. I didn't tell them how to charge the batteries.
Yeah, and we have. I can't. Maybe probably Slage. I'm not sure how you even pronounce that. Yeah, same thing. And I purposely bought rechargeable batteries just because it's not all the time, but because it's Wi-Fi enabled, not just Bluetooth. I don't know what your in-laws one is, but you have one, right?
I have
Smart lock.
So yeah, I actually have the level smart lock. It just replaced the innards. I still use the same key
Oh, right,
that I
right.
did before, which is really nice. And they came out with a little dongle you plug in that gives me Wi-Fi access. So I have a keypad out front. It as long as the batteries are charged,
Yeah.
that's the kicker.
It,
If they go dead, the keypad doesn't work.
and this isn't the only technology that this Aura sense or Aura charge goes in, right? I mean, they're talking all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll find out a way to use it. And I think this wireless charging has been a thing. I remember seeing on Shark Tank like probably 12, 13 years ago. It takes time to they went to wireless charging, and now you don't have to be up next to it. It's not a millimeter distance. This is 13 feet. That's impressive.
That is crazy.
Tesla
Is it?
Tesla would the
Yeah.
person, not the company, would be impressed by it, I guess.
I saw something the other week, somewhere here in Florida, middle of nowhere, or Orlando, middle of the state. They're testing a highway that has charging for electric vehicles. So the charging pads or whatever you want to call it, the electricity comes out of the highway and inductively, not even inductive. I guess inductive has to be touching. So whatever this is, it's the same idea, I guess. At least the same thought process. But I mean, this is a game changer for smart homes for sure. Right?
Absolutely. If you don't have to run around and change your batteries every 6-8 months. Now they last a pretty decent amount of time. There's a device behind me that needs its battery changed, but it's still on and still broadcasting. So I just threw it back there. I'll grab it here in a second. It's a Sonoff temperature humidity sensor.
But that's
it's low battery. It has like 3% battery. It said that for 3 days.
I'm thinking about this technology. I don't know if it's possible because it would have to kind of technically be through the wall, I guess. Would be smart switches. No C wire required. Right?
If
you could have a plug, I mean, you're going to most likely have a plug close to your switch, and you wouldn't need. I know that, and that was you introduced me to Sync, which used to be GE, or it still is GE, just called Sync, and that one works, but it's kind of a pain. I mean, at least mine is. Maybe I went with the wrong one, or I'm not using it correctly, but yeah, the implications of this for smart home, I think, would be pretty crazy. Moving on. Here we go. The next one. This is a big one.
Ring smart sensors. The Ring launched a new line of sensors that connect via Amazon Sidewalk rather than your Wi-Fi. So incredible range. Put them in mailboxes, sheds, gates, away from your house because it's going to work with the Amazon proprietary Wi-Fi network based off of all your neighbors and all of that stuff. I used to know how it works, and I don't.
I read it when it first came out, and every time it got a new Echo device, it had Sidewalk enabled, and you can opt out of it. But I think you have to opt out. I don't think it's an opt-in situation. But I still don't quite. I mean, I get it, and they say that then if your power goes out, that it'll still work. But I thought it worked off of your neighbor. So I guess this is why. Again, it's not smart home for smart guys. It's smart home for dumb guys. I see the point. I think it was 6 contact sensors for $99.
I mean, in the end, you do the math on that. You're what? You're 1850. They're not. That's not that far
Not too
off from the
bad.
regular stuff.
And they're saying 3 years of battery life.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's not bad. Again, that's always depending if you put it on a door that gets opened every 5 minutes for whatever reason, it may be a different story. But the only problem I have with that, and I'm, obviously I have a Ring camera and Alexa, Amazon ecosystem. I'd like to buy a variety pack. I'd like to get, and I think you have to buy the Ring security system to get more than just you can buy the motion sensors, but I'd like to buy one pack where I get a couple motion sensors, a couple contact sensors. The one thing I really would like to add to my smart home is a leak detection sensor. And I know there's a whole bunch of different companies that make them, but Ring does as well.
Yeah, and different. Are you talking like a under the sink? You put it and it goes, or you talking like you put it on the main pipe?
Well,
and if
either or. But I'm thinking more.
Pressure.
Yeah, I'm thinking more under the sink just to catch
specific
issue because I don't know. I don't know how well those other work. Have you ever used one of the ones you put in the water main type of deal?
No, I don't. I actually don't have either. I should.
Yeah.
In fact, I just cracked the tub to my washing machine earlier tonight when I was doing some repairs. So I should probably put a leak detector. Well, yeah, I didn't unplug it from the wall. Again, dumb things. So the only way to get it out was to like lean it on the tub. So as I'm unscrewing and getting in there, and it cracked the tub.
Well, maybe you can find an AI Wi-Fi enabled dryer, which I can't quite figure out why we would need that. But all right, let's move on. We're going
outside.
Outside now. Outside.
The Segway Navimo X4. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
The
Is
Navimo.
this Segway like the Segway you used to ride?
I believe so.
I
believe so. Update to their wire-free mower line. Even better obstacle avoidance and off-road capability. 40-degree. You just read it. 40-degree slope. That's incredible.
Yeah, they're showing a video now. The zero turn with the front wheels kind of can do almost 180 degrees. And yeah, that is pretty cool. And it's also AI enabled. It can avoid obstacles, similar to the thing. But yeah, crazy. I wrote you earlier today that this is like seems like you're
the dream.
The best. That would be if I would say any smart home device, that would be the one for you because you're not a fan of outside work. No, I'm not.
I don't mind it. Like it's not that big a deal. It takes an hour to do my entire yard.
Yeah.
But if I could have that hour back every other week during the summer, I don't know what I'd do with it. But I'd have to convince.
Well, and
I'd have to be
that one is a 20. I think the last time I checked, that's a pre-order. They're not available yet, but $2,500 for that. And
that's out of the budget. And now I need a new one. I've had the same mower for 21 years now.
Wow, gas mower.
Gas powered, never changed the oil. Never done anything. This sucker just keeps running. Thank you, Toro Mowers.
Yeah.
I think it's a Honda motor in it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Again, the point of this smart home is to try to make life easier, and what can you do, and that obviously would do it. But here in Florida, you say every other week. It's every other week in the winter, and then every week, if not every 4 days in the summertime. So I could see the value of something like that. And they make different sizes of more power and battery life. So I think that 2,500 was the middle of the road. You can go bigger if you've got a big, like your front yard's pretty decent size, and you don't have 40-degree slope, but you have a.
I'm probably 25 at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember our house we grew up in that right where you got by the road. It was like about this, and you had to kind of just take the mower and drop it down and hope you didn't roll on top of the mower. And
it was one of those one-handed.
Yeah,
things.
exactly. You couldn't use the power mower for it. You had to use like the old mower that probably was 30 years old. So, all right. So we go from the outside to the kitchen, and you're in the market for a dryer. Maybe I'm in the market for something like this.
So Samsung's new bespoke fridges are updated with Vision AI to not just identify food, but suggest recipes based on what is about to spoil. And it helps reduce waste and your mental load from planning dinner, Chad. You never know when that mental load gets to be too bad.
I know when the metal load's about ready to get too bad, and I think you and I both are the do primarily most of the cooking and the planning of the meals, and that is a mental load.
Oh, I
And
don't
the
do
other
the
thing
planning.
too, and you guys are way better at this than I am, is trying to avoid losing food. Going bad. And I would love to get notifications that say, "Hey, dumbass, make the chicken tonight because the chicken's about ready to go bad."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I see the value in that, but I don't see the value in a $3,700 refrigerator.
$3,700. I was just gonna say that, and the bespoke line from Samsung, I think, has been out for a while, a
Yeah,
couple
I mean
years.
they're nifty. They self-open, self-close.
Yeah,
You know that's
there's the
impressive. We
four, and there's certain ones in the $3,700 one. Each I think each segment can be either freezer or fridge. And so there's four doors that are both, even the freezer. I'm gonna see if I can pull it back up here. The freezer doors at the bottom, or the doors at the bottom, are also French doors. And I think you can, excuse me, make, if you want one of them to be a freezer, one to be a freezer, and of course the screen is cool.
I mean it could be helpful. It could combine a bunch of different.
Yeah.
You put calendars and stuff up there. I don't know
Right.
that I need to knock on it and see inside my
No, and
fridge. I think
it's funny because my wife and I were talking about, because we are in the market for a fridge, and I can't see us spending. I know we're not spending that amount of money, and I don't really need gimmicks like that. But I like kind of the I'd like kind of a drawer that you could decide, the flex drawer. Could it be freezer? Could it be the whole Vision AI thing of tell me what's in my pantry is kind of like, again, that is like dream smart home to me. I think what's in your pantry, what's in your fridge, what do you have? Here's 4 things you can make with what you have now. That is because I try to be, and this was something else we talked about. My wife and I did a planning weekend this weekend, and I got to be better at because you waste so much money, and I'm the king of going to the grocery store 3-4 times a day if I need to. It's close. I like to get out, so I do it. But it's wasteful. So that's so
that's CES.
That's CES.
Those are the highlights.
There we go. Next year we'll do Smart Home for Dumb Guys live from CES.
Let's hope. Not going to happen, but let's hope. We've already planned. You just went through planning. We've already planned it. I don't have it.
Next year. This year is busy. All right. Smart home resolutions. What do you got, Mark? You kick it off.
Well, so I when we were together, I suggested this topic, smart home resolutions, and I came up with one that I thought was really good, and now I've decided that I have one that's even better.
Nope.
My smart home resolution is to organize my smart home, organize Home Assistant, get a nomenclature that makes sense so that it can be easily understood, that type of thing. But now I've decided, instead of asking for feedback on the things I do, asking my daughter and my son and my wife for feedback, I'm going to ask for their input. I need to plan a little bit better. They need to be a part of the process so that it goes more smoothly. So that's my smart home resolution.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that makes sense. We talked about this before. The naming process it might be one of the most important things. It helps you stay more organized. It helps, especially if you do some voice stuff, voice commands. That helps to really name stuff properly if you can't do what you need. And the buy-in, it always helps to get it afterwards. And that saying that you ask for forgiveness instead of permission, I don't think that works when in a marriage. I mean, it can. Mine is, honestly, my resolution is one to find the time I may start over. And this one ties into This Week in Dumb, and this very room that I'm filming in. Mark and his lovely wife were spending a couple nights here, and lights would just randomly turn on. I have the lights behind me that are highlighting. They would turn on. I couldn't figure out why. My front lights were turning on all of a sudden, and I still have no idea. So I really think I'm just gonna delete every routine I have in Alexa and just kind of start from scratch, and maybe consider moving into Home Assistant.
And we're talking like 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
they're off. I would fall asleep. I'd wake up, open my eyes, and the lights are on again.
Yeah,
and I didn't.
And
outside, the outside
lights,
Christmas lights really threw me off.
And a light in my living room, which has been solid. That's that's a smart plug. That's been solid for years. And all of a sudden now it randomly turns on during the day. And I checked. You had suggested maybe it somehow got tied to a sensor. It is not. I think my smart home is tired of the dumbness and is fighting back. It's finally fighting back.
We are smarter than you. We want to know what it's.
And it could be tied. Alexa's making a lot of changes, or Amazon's making a lot of changes. Alexa, it could be tied to that. I think it may have to do with if the Echoes think that we're home. They're really pushing the home and away idea, which I like that because I want. In case my kids are notorious for not turning off lights, I'd like those lights to turn off if they forget to turn them off, if it knows that we're gone. So it could be tied to that, but I don't know. And I've been trying to tinker with the individual routines, and it's not working.
Just time to start over.
It's time to start over, and that's fine. It's probably a good time to do it, especially since we're doing this thing. But yeah, that was embarrassing. I mean, thank goodness it's you guys, although I think it happened to my in-laws too when they stayed here. They were like, well, the light came on at 3 a.m, and the kids. Oh, you were that, and that wasn't even when you were in this room. It was when you had to sleep on the pull-out couch downstairs. The light came on in the middle of the night.
I was your favorite light, the one that works all the time.
Yeah,
I was asleep,
and I
woke up.
Came on, and that's when right above your,
right by my head.
and we were sleeping on the couch in the back family room, and I'm like, what's Mark doing up at 3 a.m.? What's he doing? Why does he have all the lights on? He's like, I didn't turn any lights. So yeah, stupid. So that's my This Week in Dumb, and
your list this week in Dumb is at least unexplainable. Mine is just terrible communication.
Uh-oh.
So we're driving down to your house
right.
we went to Disney first and had a lovely time there. Yeah. But on our drive down, and I don't even remember how the topic got brought up, but my wife started talking about Amazon. And she said, well, somebody said the name, turn off all the lights.
The big A.
And I have in my car an Amazon Echo Auto. It was given to me for free. And by golly, if she didn't respond and turned on all of my lights, every single one of them.
You're 1,000 miles away.
That is correct. And driving. So it's not like I just said, turn them all off. Just turn everything off. And my kids think I talk to this device quite frequently with my kids.
Right.
Because
so they knew.
I try to answer questions. And my wife's thing was, I didn't even know we had this. Like, once again,
this is not the first time
my
this
fault.
Has come up.
No. Was not aware that we did. And, I have a screen in my office. I have a really old, maybe version 1 of the Dot.
Yeah.
I don't use it. It does sit down here. She just assumed we were a Google only family, and she should have been correct, but was not. So I did, it took probably 12 hours till I was able to sit down and actually get it, because we went to Disney, we were in the parks. I wasn't going to sit there on my phone trying to turn lights on. So it might not have had Christmas lights that night. I don't know.
Well, and that may have been my issue too, because as we're driving home from our Christmas Eve church service, my lights, I think my outside Christmas lights were set to turn off at 11, and our service was late. We were going to get home till 11:30, and I would kind of like to have everybody pull up to have the Christmas lights on. So I was driving with my oldest daughter, and I threw her my phone and said, turn the lights on. And what you think is, and I guess this is a good point to talk about, to get the bite. What you think is simple or not that difficult, it was difficult for her. I think she mashed a whole bunch of buttons And I think
Only
that's
in our
part-
heads
right,
is
in
it
our
simple.
heads it's simple.
And we've already stated that maybe we're not the smartest individuals that there are. So the thoughts that are rolling around in our heads don't translate very well to anybody
No,
else.
absolutely.
Maybe you and I.
Sometimes I don't think to me either.
No.
So that's part of the problem too, which goes back to your resolution. I think it's a little bit more forethought, and because I just get a device, don't really give it a lot of thought. What I'm going to call it, what I'm going to exactly do with it. I just get it because I'm excited. I'm a nerd. I like to play with, geek out with that stuff. So, and I know you are too. So don't laugh at me because I know that's how you work too.
Oh, absolutely. I got 8 new smart bulbs. They're named Smart Bulb 1 through 8.
Right. Exactly. And even as I'm trying to set up the show, you even told me the first time you better name the different scenes and stuff like it'll be fine to remember. And then we have to record the entire episode again because the first time.
That's why third time's a charm.
That is
to
third
not have to
time's
record
a
it
charm.
twice.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. Well, we can't let another month go by without doing that. So just a heads up, we will put some links to some of these devices that are available. We would get a very small commission if somebody buys them, but we do like to give that disclaimer. But if you buy them, send us a comment, let us know, or buy it for us, and we'll test it out for you, and then we'll send it back.
We'll tell you how it doesn't
Mark
work.
really wants that $2,500 lawnmower, so his address is so all right, cool. Well, thank you. Keep good luck with the New Year's resolution, your smart home resolution. I know you'll do well. I'll be anxious to hear it. I'd like the New Year's tree in the background.
That is correct.
You
You called it a Christmas tree earlier, but it teal and purple are not Christmas colors.
Govey thinks that teal is in Christmas, by the way. If you look at some of their celebration things,
That's a Govey. There's Govey lights over there. So
yeah, I like it. Is that that's the
string lights?
String, two?
Tree lights. Tree lights. No, just the one.
Okay.
Old school.
It looks good. It looks good. All right.
It's 2 steps.
Okay. Well, how big's the tree? I'm curious because I'm
6.5 feet, I think.
Okay. All right. Very cool. All right. Well, good luck in all the smart homing. Don't be too dumb, and we'll see you on the flip side in a couple weeks.
Sounds good.